So there's a lot happening in emerging tech. Obviously, AI is a great enabler, and we're seeing a lot of change there, and that's really challenging and creating opportunities across things like energy technologies. So there's modular batteries, new ways of being able to establish batteries and then manage those batteries. From a space tech perspective, I mean that's been massively exciting in Australia, where we have actually our own space agency. We have an astronaut that's going to be going to the ISS in near course. She started her training, which is also equally exciting. One of the fundamental aspects we've seen in the space tech space, which is more than just satellites, it's the underlying environmental systems that we're starting to develop. So as Elon, basically pushes humanity to Mars, the questions that we've got to ask ourselves is how can we live on Mars? And it's funny because, for me, what's exciting is, well, if we can live on Mars, we're going to have to recycle carbon dioxide and turn it into oxygen and carbon. And, well, isn't that exactly what the whole idea of decarbonisation is all about? and so, what we need to operate at high degrees of performance in outer space in Mars actually solves Earth's biggest problem. And that's one of the reasons why, we built this fund. It's basically to be able to identify and take these novel, weird approaches that really aren't that uncommon in terms of market applications, but it's just not necessarily been perceived as being, close enough to being used commercially. And certainly from an infrastructure standpoint, well, it's a model that most infrastructure investors don't want because they write $100 million checks. And so they want one big asset that does one thing really well, that has reliable growth. They don't want kind of, networked assets that have, multiple points of management that, need more technology because they see that as more risk. And sure, there is definitely more risk, but we also need to accept that risk, just like we accept technology doing a lot of things that it never used to do before. Before the manufacturing line, people rode horses and built things one at a time.